Greetings, friends of the channel Seekers of Harmony. One of the issues that concerns every person is to find the right balance in his diet. The amount of information from theories and views, myths, scientific research, ideologies, recipes, and cultures is huge. For me, as with most people, this is like entering a maze of information. So this time, let us enter into this labyrinth with the aim to shed some light on various issues that we believe concerns everybody, in hope not to make it even deeper or more complex than it is. We have the honor to have Panayotis with us, who will guide us in this quest. Panayotis Koufoudakis is from northern Evia in Greece. He is a dietitian, nutritionist, and a graduate of Alexandrian Technological Educational Institute of Thessaloniki. He specializes in eating disorders and obesity. It is our hope that the provided answers to our selective questions will be like the thread of the myth of Ariadne that will bring us to light. Is food just something we eat?
No, food is not just something we eat. It is above all a way of socializing. It is like participating in a herd that has hunted and now eats together. Being that, it means that first we agree on the food we share, the food that bring us together and help us to share our thoughts, our views, and even disagreements. In that context, okay, in that context, it is also an opportunity to connect and to socialize.
Would you agree that the main function of us humans is to take in food, to digest, and finally to eliminate it?
No, no, I would not say that. Of course, food and eating is the way to survive, but it is also a way to evolve. This has been the case since ancient times. Once man left from his cave, and one major reason that contributed to that was putting new nutrients in his food. He was able to develop his brain and soon able to build societies. Based on that, we can say that we consider food as a driving force of culture and not only for survival.
Does what we eat affect our psychology?
First, I wish to emphasize that through food, if that's available, since unfortunately this is not the case for everybody in this planet, we are able to feel love. Just think of the baby that will cry so that its mother knows it is hungry. This hunger is not only physical, it is mainly psychological and mental. Hmm? By crying, will the baby receive food and nutrition, but also love and warmth of its family. Food is a way to enter society, to belong to a family, and to take our first steps in life. As such, it will give us nutrition to grow, but it will also provide us with cultural nutrition so that we can participate in a society or in a state, as Plato would say.
In which extent does what we eat affect our moods and our emotions?
It is not unusual to associate some special and personal moments with a meal. We probably remember that at Sunday's meal we would have a favorite food that brought us closer as family and made us feel at home. From this point of view, we could say food affects emotions because it enables us to smell, feel, as well as rethink past situations that we bring up in the present. You should know that. Huh? You should know that smelling stimulates memory more than any other way. The nose has its own magical way to bring us back in time, much faster than a dream or a photograph. So, our meals are definitely affecting our mood, especially if they have the important nutritions.
You do not need to be Greek to know the saying, your medicine should be your food. How important was this in antiquity? And does this saying apply in the same way today?
Walking in Greece at this day of age gives us an idea of how people lived and ate thousands of years ago. The ancient Greeks followed this saying almost with religious reference, we would say, while the same continued later in the Byzantine years, especially as the study of ancient philosophers and the way of thinking of the ancient Greeks returned to the forefront. Let me mention that historically this was after the religious period during the transition of Christianity. Of course, food is our medicine because it is the way to provide the necessary nutrition for our body, something that will strengthen our immune system and keep us healthy. Respectively, our medicine is our food. A simple example is if we have a cold. In that case, we tend to drink juice, which is rich in vitamin C, that will help to reduce the symptoms and initially make us recover faster. So, we can conclude that our food will always be our medicine, whether we treat it as an ancient Greek view or we are in the modern world environment.
Do you think that there are differences in the approach to food today in comparison to the old ideal? And would you say that there are differences based on the region?
There will definitely be differences depending on the region, whether you are in the Northern Europe, Southern Europe, or other parts of the world. But regardless of that, I still believe that the rule of your food being your medicine applies to everyone, regardless where we live or considering the modern rhythms of life today.
Was there a specific food that our ancient ancestors considered to be the foundation for a healthy body?
Here, we cannot talk about specific food. Okay? First, let us say that the Mediterranean diet, or obviously the Greek diet, has a biological character and not only a national character, since it has too many influences from both the West and the East. Let me explain. From the first voyages of Alexander the Great as well as from the Persian invasions, we Greeks have several influences on the food as well as on the way of cooking. The reason for that is the different climate and temperatures, something that affects the raw material in addition to the way of cooking. Besides that, spices that we know are very rich in antioxidants were a health injection into the diet of ancient cultures from the East and was soon to be included in the Greek cuisine. Respectively, we will see those culinary influences apply also on the ancient Romans, who in addition transferred the Greek way of thinking further west. So, the kind of food that we can consider in medicine apply not only for the ancient Greeks but for all European people since it has slowly marched there. This food, this food we are talking about is food that is tasty, fresh, and rich in nutrients. Since ancient times, and this isn't an exception today, we will need a good way of cooking and a good quality of ingredients, preferably based on their seasonality. So, seekers of harmony, to me, this is the way to turn our food into medicine. Join and enjoy.